Yo, what's good everybody? It's your boy Malcolm and I'm back for another video. And in today's video, we are going to be talking about my arch nemesis. And if you read the title, you already know who that is. And if you didn't read the title, hey, you the GOAT. You just click on my videos without reading the title. We got that bond like that. I rock with you. But no, in all seriousness, this video is going to be about Rose Quartz, aka Pink Diamond, aka the true villain of Steven Universe. But before we talk about that menace, I need you guys to not be a menace and like, share, comment, subscribe, and hit that noti bell because I got a lot of dope videos coming. You guys have been helping me with my growth on YouTube so much, and y'all supporting has made it super easy for me to be consistent and keep posting videos for you guys. So thank you guys so much. I can't wait to keep making videos for y'all. And if you guys want more nerd content from me, check out my podcast. It's called The Storm Podcast. Every week, me and two of my bros talk about all things nerdy for about 3 hours. All your favorite new anime, movies, TV shows. We talk about it and you don't want to miss it. But without further ado, let's get into this video. Look, Steven Universe is one of my favorite series of all time. It's my favorite show on Cartoon Network and I love it a lot. And there's one character who I feel like gets a lot of love and a lot of optimism and the benefit of the doubt, but they really fucking suck. And that's Rose Quartz. Rose Quartz is portrayed as this pure, honest, misunderstood, tortured character, but every single thing that went wrong in that show is because of her. She caused so many problems with her selfishness and didn't even think about anybody else in the process, and I'm here to expose all of it. She was manipulative, irresponsible, selfish, and just caused so much problems for the ones around her that she quote unquote loved. She literally just made things harder for each of them, and I'm here to break it all down and expose her for the menace that she is. First and foremost, let's talk about her manipulation of the crystal gems. Now, as we know, the crystal gems were formed as a rebellion army against the Diamond Authority, with Rose Quartz as their fearless leader, leading them to the path of freedom and love and openness, except for the fact that that wasn't the case. Rose Quartz was actually Pink Diamond all along, and this entire rebellion was built up off of lies and deception. Now granted, she didn't do it maliciously, but she did manipulate these crystal gems into believing that they were fighting for one thing when the whole thing was under the guise of a lie. And long after her death, when they found out who she truly was, it was such an intense feeling of betrayal, because to them, Rose signified unity and honesty.
She lied to us! She lied about everything!
But while talking about her manipulation of the crystal gems, there is one gem that we really have to talk about that she manipulated worse than anyone else, and that's Pearl. Now, while all the other crystal gems were lied to and didn't know who Pink Diamond actually was, Pearl knew, except for the fact that she was sworn to secrecy by Pink Diamond herself. Now, Pink Diamond would be a menace just to ask Pearl to not tell the others to give away such a big, important secret to them. But she didn't just ask, she demanded she did it. What we all seem to forget is that Pearl is programmed to do exactly what Pink Diamond tells her to. She doesn't even have a choice in the matter. When Pearl got to the point where she wanted and even needed to tell everybody who Pink Diamond was, she wasn't allowed to, because that was an order that was deeply programmed into her by Pink Diamond herself.
My last order to you as a diamond, please, let's never speak of this again.
It was extremely unfair to ask something that serious of somebody you love and kind of force them to do your bidding in this sense, and to hold such a deep secret that is very helpful for the rest of the team to know. And not only that, but I also don't like the way that Pink kind of kept Pearl on the hook for all those years. Like, even after the war was over and everything was cool, I get it. I'm not mad at Pink. You can love who you love and do what you want to do. She clearly chose Greg. But she never really made that clear to Pearl. She kind of just kept Pearl on the hook all these years. So Pearl's thinking, yo, there's a chance we're going to get together. Everything's going to be good. We're fusing. We're doing all this stuff. But the whole time, you're about to have a baby with this man, and I don't even know. Pearl thinks she's the end goal because Pink never let her know that wasn't the case. When you listen to Pearl sing the song, It's Over, Isn't It? Pearl is just now kind of realizing and coming to terms that she's never gonna get to be with Rose the way that she thought she was going to, because Rose never fucking let her know. And while we're on the topic of Rose manipulating the crystal gems, we gotta talk about Bismuth. Man, Bismuth got absolutely hoed. In the middle of the gem war, Bismuth realized that they were on their back foot and they probably weren't going to win. What they needed in order to win this war was to start shattering the other gems. So on her own, Bismuth decided to come up with the weapon, the breaking point, that was able to shatter gems so they would never be able to regenerate and come back. I will be honest, it's pretty fucking brutal. And once it was done, she brought it to Rose Quartz to get her endorsement and let her know, yo, I made this and I really think it's gonna turn the tide for us. Let's fucking go. So imagine Bismuth's confusion when Rose Quartz tells her, we're not gonna use that because we're against shattering. Meanwhile, Bismuth is thinking, you just fucking shattered Pink Diamond. What the hell are you talking about? And that's because all this shit is built up on lies. There was no way for Bismuth to know that Pink Diamond never actually got shattered because Rose was Pink Diamond. Bismuth is thinking, yes, you shattered somebody and it helped us a lot, so let's keep doing it. So now when you're against me, of course I'm gonna be fucking confused. You're looking like a hypocrite. Instead of Rose clearing up this confusion and letting Bismuth know what actually happened, she decides to poof Bismuth and bubble her. So now Bismuth is put away for life for doing exactly what her fearless leader did to help us in this war. And to take it a step further, Rose told the other crystal gems, hey, Bismuth was just MIA, lost in action. Nobody knows where she is because you have her locked up in the fucking basement because she defied your orders because she thought that she was doing what you wanted because you're a fucking liar. I'm sorry, I get passionate when I'm talking about Pink Diamond. She's just the worst. Realistically, I could go on about her manipulation of the crystal gems for about 10 hours, but now let's just take a second and talk about her abandonment of her responsibilities. Now here's the thing, I get it. The Diamond Authority are pieces of shit. They're the fucking worst. However, she's a leader in this authority, which means she has responsibilities and she has her colony on Earth that she's supposed to look after. And trust me, I get it. It was fucked up. She didn't want to be a part of this authority anymore because she felt like she wasn't given the same respect as the other diamonds, probably because she is younger than them, but even still. And also the situation of she started to value the life on Earth, so she wanted to leave the authority. And that's all fine and dandy. I'm not mad at her for it. But here's the thing. Pink's decision to leave caused consequences for a lot of other people, and she didn't handle those things before she decided to abandon the Diamond Authority. For instance, Spinel. Spinel was Pink's friend, she was Pink's jester, they spent all their time together in the garden having a great time. But when it was time for Pink to get her own colony, she decided, I can't bring Spinel with me anymore, so I'm just gonna leave her here. She told Spinel, hey, wait here, we're gonna play a game. I'll be back later, and when I come back, I'll have a surprise for you. Except for the fact that she never came back. She left Spinel up there for tens of thousands of years all by herself because she didn't care enough to either take Spinel with her or let her know, I'm not coming back. She just left her ass up there forever. That's why when I was watching the movie, Spinel coming back hating, she trying to kill Steven and all his friends, I would too. I was stuck up there by you for all these fucking years because you're the worst. Fuck you. Of course I'm gonna kill you and your friends. Either one of two things happened. Pink thought about the fact that Spinel was up there fucked up all by herself and didn't give a fuck, or she literally just never thought of Spinel again. There were thousands and thousands of years in which the gem war was over, nothing was happening, and she could have went and checked on Spinel, and she just didn't. But I do get it. There would be risks to checking and seeing what's happening with Spinel. But even outside of that, she could have just let her know before she left. She didn't have to lie to her for all those years. Pink also completely abandoned her responsibility to the zoo. Now, I'm not even going to get started on the ethics of having a human zoo in itself. That's fucked up all on its own. But the fact that she had one and just left it to waste. She forgot about it, left it, didn't even care about it. All those people in that zoo weren't being taken care of whatsoever. Now, granted, that responsibility got pushed on to other people and they did end up upkeeping the zoo, but she didn't care about it. These were things that she didn't think about or care about when she was getting out of the Diamond Authority. The Diamond Authority was fucked up, but so many people got fucked up because of her leaving as a critical point in this hierarchy. And granted, the diamonds are dicks, the diamonds are assholes, but Pink leaving had a huge effect on them as well. This was still Pink's family, and she did do them a little dirty. I get it, but she did do them a little dirty. Pink's sudden and unexplained disappearance caused immense grief, especially to Blue Diamond, who's particularly close to Pink, coupled with the mystery of her death, led to deepening distrust amongst the Diamonds. Blue and Yellow both became more rigid and authoritarian in their ruling. Blue's was a little bit more mourning and sentimental, and Yellow's was a lot more anger and retribution. But Pink leaving made things a lot harder on other people, because now that this power structure is messed up, Blue and Yellow are both acting out crazy, which is just making things harder on all the other gems. Now remember, Pink wanted to leave this authority because these people are fucked up. Guess what? These other gems want to do the same thing, but they don't have the ability to do so. You just left them up there with an amped up Blue and an amped up Yellow that are just going to make things way worse for them now that you're gone. Now, because Pink didn't want to be a part of the authority and wanted to save Earth, she had to start up a rebellion on Earth against Homeworld. So under the guise of Rose Quartz, Pink Diamond decided to start up the Crystal Gems and start a rebellion against her own rule. And this was a long, hard war that the Crystal Gems really weren't winning. This war caused a lot of pain, a lot of suffering, a lot of poofing, a lot of shattering, a lot of corruption, all at the hands of Pink. This war led to long-lasting trauma on both sides. Now here's the thing, I do feel like this war was inevitable one way or another, because Pink did want to protect Earth. However, going down as a Rose Quartz and creating this rebellion as Rose Quartz had her entire side fighting under false pretenses. They didn't truly understand what they were fighting for or who they were fighting for. Now, if Pink Diamond would have started up the war as Pink Diamond, I think that would have been a little bit more ethical in that sense, because now all these people that are fighting with you actually have the choice and the understanding to do what they're actually doing. And then on top of that, you could argue that Pink started this war for her own self-serving motives. Because you can ask, was this war truly about protecting Earth? Or was this a way for Pink Diamond to rebel against her own oppressive system for personal freedom? Now, I'm not going to answer that because truthfully, I can't really say whether this war was truly about the Earth or herself, because I feel like it's probably a good portion of both. Because she did form bonds on Earth and start to understand the preciousness of life there, but I do feel like a lot of it was for her own personal freedom. She found a place that she liked on Earth and that she wanted to be, and she was willing to give everything for that, for herself. Now let's get into the big one. Her impact on Steven. Steven had to inherit all of the consequences and burdens of Pink Diamond's action with little to no knowledge whatsoever. He had to deal with all her enemies and moral dilemmas that she left completely unsolved. Now, it's one thing to leave all your problems and issues for Steven to deal with later down the road, but it's another thing to not even give him any information about it. The only thing that Steven got from Rose was a sword, Bismuth's bubble, and a video about loving himself. Why wouldn't you tell him all the fuck shit that happened and all the bad shit that he's gonna have to deal with in his life because of you? Steven grew up not knowing that he was a diamond, about Bismuth, about his powers, about Homeworld, about Jasper or the cluster or the other diamonds. There were so many things that Steven just got tossed into with no background knowledge, no preparation. The man's not even a whole diamond, so he's really out here just fucked. And that caused lasting damage for Steven during the series, and especially during Steven Universe Future. And in that series, we really see that Steven's such a good person that he really does feel all that responsibility and guilt for actions that aren't even his. And it's a good thing he did, because he was the one who stopped all these things and made all these changes and made life so much better for everybody. But he shouldn't have had to deal with that. Rose shouldn't have made him have to deal with that. Rose lied and manipulated everybody in her life. So the only person who could have given Steven the knowledge and preparation he needed was her, and she chose not to do that. Greg couldn't do it. Greg didn't even know who Rose actually was. Pearl couldn't do it. She was sworn to secrecy. The Crystal Gems didn't know anything about most of the stuff that Rose was doing. Shit was fucked. And I hate how Rose just did him like that, because this whole series is built up on Steven fixing the mistakes of Rose. That's literally what this show is. And granted, it gave us a fire show, so I'm not really complaining. But she didn't have to do that to my boy. Rose is a hypocrite. She is a walking contradiction of ideas. Everything that Rose Quartz stands for, as far as love and freedom, are completely overridden by all of Pink's deceitful and controlling acts. She manipulated her image, so instead of having to live as a diamond, she crafted the image of herself as a selfless leader while hiding the truth about her past and her true nature. And this is what makes her a true villain. Pink Diamond is someone who caused immense pain while pretending to be a force of good. Her actions cause long-term effects on gem society for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. She directly led to the destabilization of the Diamond Authority, causing chaos and conflicts within the gem society, causing problems for all those other gems who did not get to escape like she did. She manipulated all of those who worked under her, who were so fearless and adamant on protecting her goals and ideas and making the future that she spewed to them, not even knowing who they were truly working for and fighting and giving their lives for. And then she left all of that mess for Steven to clean up. Now, I do get it. Some people will say that Pink Diamond is a tragic figure who did all she could to try to change it and just didn't make it happen. Because at the end of the day, she did try to talk to the Diamonds and they didn't give her the respect that she asked for, and that is why she decided to rebel and go against them in that way. But what I say is, why wouldn't she just do that as Pink Diamond? I feel like if she would have been more open and honest with more of the people in her life, all this hurt and confusion and tragedy and pain wouldn't have had to happen. Because it's not that she wasn't willing to fight. She fought for years and years and years in the Gem War. She just wasn't willing to fight as Pink Diamond. And I feel like if she would have done that, it just would have been so much cleaner, so much easier. Now, would the war have been harder? It probably would have been a little bit harder, but it just would have been more fair to all sides. And you can make the argument that her intentions were pure, and to an extent I do feel like they were, but I feel like the problem with Pink Diamond and Rose Quartz is always that even though her intentions are pure, her own selfishness always goes on top of it. Because I feel that even though she really did want to help people and free people and make things good for people, she wouldn't have done that if it came at the expense of her own freedom. As much as she valued the lives of others, she valued the freedom of herself more. Rebecca Sugar has said that there are no villains in Steven Universe, just misunderstandings. But I feel like Pink Diamond's actions and motivations ultimately paint her as the villain of this story. So for all those Pink Diamond fans out there, after watching this video, let me know if you still see her in the same light. And I know that the gem lore is very vast and extensive, and there's more stuff I could have talked about. Let me know what I missed in the comments, and if you disagree with me, let me know why in the comments. I might have to make a second video retracting all of this if you can do a good enough job disproving me. But yo, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you haven't done so already, make sure to like, share, comment, subscribe, and hit that noti bell, because I got more videos coming for you guys very, very soon. And make sure to listen to my podcast if you want to hear more from me. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one. I'm out. Peace.